Hey, what is going on, everyone? Hope all of you guys are doing well. I do apologize for the way my camera is. It looked like it was angled uh, just down slightly. But I'm not going to show you guys a closer look at the Scream Factory titles I have today. I'm actually going to do a 2-for-1 special for you guys. I'm going to be taking a closer look at two TV season sets that I have that are part of my childhood. And it's pretty crappy out today. It's pretty dark, rainy, thunder, lightning, the typical Florida weather that we tend to get. I know sometime around like yesterday, late evening, early night. Oh, I mean, depending on what you think early night is, around like 5 or 6, it started pouring. I got pretty bad. Um, I want to say around like 4 yesterday, and the sun came out like probably before it was going to start to get dark. And then now today you wake up and it's like, oh, hey, I'm just going to be terrible weather. So that's kind of the Saturday we're having. That's expected, but yeah, I don't plan to live in Florida very long. I think pretty much me, my sister, and my parents have been talking about, you know, moving up north, somewhere like upstate New York. We majority of my family lives up north, New Jersey, and then I got some in New York, but it's just Florida. I've been in Florida since what '93, and it's had its good, but now I think it just keeps getting worse, and the weather's just awful. Like the humidity here, like you can't even breathe outside. That's how bad it tends to get. So, I guess it's great for the beaches, but for anything else, it's not even worth it. But today we're going to be taking a closer look at the complete series of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is actually a re-release to the original set that had came out back in the day. And then we're going to also be taking a closer look at the complete series of Beetlejuice, which apparently this is out of print. Um, you can still probably find it at Walmart, depending on Walmart locations. I know for the longest time mine had it. Um, I have one minor complaint with Walmart, and this is something they need to improve on. They need to start making, when you go in there and some of those movies are in those like little security clear cases, they need to start making bigger ones for box sets. This would prevent them from being damaged because they put like that web security um, device over them, and it basically damages the box. Um, so I feel like moving forward, they need to just start putting all the TV seasons in those, or just everything in there, and not use those web, uh, you know, releases. But uh, yeah. So let's go ahead and take a close. Yeah, I'm still tired. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. So we're going to start off with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is a fantastic show. I was there day one. I remember I actually remember the commercials that were leading up to the premiere, and I watched the premiere and was hooked. Um, Here's the spine. It gives you also the helmets of each ranger, and I just absolutely loved it. I have seen the original Japanese, uh, excuse me, at least not the entire series, but I do like the Japanese version, maybe slightly better because there's a lot more that wasn't put into the American series. Excuse me, I wouldn't say put more, but they took certain things and that was pretty much it. Because like a great example I can use is that the when Tommy becomes the White Ranger later in the series. Well, in one of this Power Ranger series, you find out that the White Ranger is a child, probably the same age as the character of Justin in Turbo. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I do believe the White Ranger wasn't part of Mighty Morphin. I think he was part of a different series um, in the Japanese version. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while, but I do believe that might be it. But you do on the back get like a description of the set, and then you get bonus features. So you get a look back at Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with members of the cast, crew, and creative team, which is really good. They talk about how like they came out with some of the things um, when it came to like the locations. They talk about how they, some. I think they talk about some of the locations and things like that. Talk about the footage and the voiceover and everything and all that cool stuff. Um, a more phenomenal casting director, Katie Wallen, and the show's star recall what it took to become a Power Ranger. The fans power up. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fans remember the series. Lord Zed's Monster Heads, Alpha's Magical Christmas. Those were, I believe, two like VHS tapes that you can get. I don't know if they were actually episodes that aired. Um, it's a possibility they did, but I remember there being like a VHS tape for each. Then you get the rare Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan club video. I remember that one too. I think that one was with Jason David Frank doing the commercial for that. That was cool. I think a lot of us wanted that. The MMPR Karate Club, the White Ranger Kata Power Rangers. Yeah, the White Ranger Kata. I think that was kind of like teaching some things here and there for the martial arts, or if you wanted to join. And then we have Power Rangers Live, the World Tour, and more. Yeah, so I remember there being a war tour, and they talk about. I think they talk about how it was so popular that it literally shut down the road. Like, there was so much traffic, which is crazy. Power Rangers, if you think about it, were almost in the same way as the Beatles back in the '60s, which is crazy to even think. Um, But yeah, so you do get a total of 3 seasons, and I'll show you guys. You do get individual cases. Now, these are going to be a lot different compared to the first release that we got. When Power Rangers was announced back in, I believe, 2012. Was it 2012 or 2013? I think it might have been 2012 because I remember because I was following Shout Factory heavily, and they had talked about picking up the rights to the Power Rangers and releasing them on DVD, and it would be Power Rangers, Beetleborgs, and VR Troopers. So unfortunately, the other two have gone out of print, and they're pretty expensive. And then we would also be getting Beetlejuice, the animated series, and I think there was another one or two shows that they had announced that they picked up the rights for. Um, and we were excited. So the way they were doing this is they were releasing season 1, volume 1. Just like they did back in the early days, they would just release the volumes. I think they've changed it because I think at that point it just, at this point now it would just take too long. So I think they decided to just go ahead and start, releasing them with the series. But at that time it was just by volumes. And I think by the end of that year, you would have already gotten like the first season available. And then, of course, there would have been, the other ones. So, Time Life, I'm sure everybody's familiar with Time Life. They used to have the Ghostbusters Firehouse Steelbook set and a few other shows. I think Wonder Years at one point, I think, was part of that, lineup from them, but from Time Life, not Shout Factory. But they had 2 box sets you were able to get. The first box set would be Mighty Morphin. You'd get the whole series of that, and then you would also get the shows that would come after. So that way, I believe it would have been Zeo, Turbo, In Space, and Lightspeed Rescue, and Lost Galaxy. I think it was a 5 DVD case set. Don't quote me on that. And then I think another box set would come out after that with, I think there was at least like three box sets that had, I believe, 5 seasons for each box set, give or take. So I thought that was pretty cool that we would get something like that. But then, of course, a lot of the shows would eventually get the full series rather than being split. Because like Turbo and Zeo, I think are the only two that have been split for their shows. And then after that, I think you start to see the full series sets. And now you can find them for a pretty reasonable price. I'm actually planning on hopefully picking up Zero pretty soon, and then Turbo. But they, of course, re-release this set, which you can get at Walmart. The price has dropped dramatically. I think that's like $40 now. Could be a lot cheaper. I think you could probably find it cheaper nowadays, but it just depends. But in there, you would get, of course, Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, which is actually different, because I think the other case you can get with this is red. This is green. And this also contains two bonus discs. There's this up. Man, I'm getting a little uncoordinated here. The spine, the back, and then when we open it up, we get our 10 episodes, which I think the 10 episodes are actually supposed to be part of the series and just random seasons when they come to help. But for some odd reason, they decided to just take those all out, and put them as one series. So you literally would probably have to go online to see where these episodes follow when it comes to the series. I believe that's how it's supposed to be. But that's the disc, and then of course you get the two bonus features. Now I think the bonus features on the original box set were in like a thin case, and then the Alien Rangers had their own separate case. Next, we have season 3 of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'm going to go a little backwards here for you guys. Here's the spine and the back, and you do get like little glimpses of some of the powers they get, what the season, kind of details of this season specifically. And then when we open it up, the great thing I love is that they don't give you. I don't think you get a booklet in this one. I think the original release you do, but this you actually get the episodes on the artwork, interior artwork. But here we have disc 1, disc 2 and 3, and then disc 4. So not bad. Season 3 is pretty decent. This is kind of where they get the ninja suits, the ninja zords, and the ninja power from Ninjor. So I've always enjoyed that one. Next, we have season 2. Now, the second season, I believe, was also in volumes. Here's the spine, the back. I think season 2 had a different cover. It was like yellow. But I believe volume 2 used to be in 2 parts as well, when they were starting to first come out. And then, of course, you got your discs again in the back. Will be the episodes. Pretty much all the releases. Whether it's Mighty Morphin, Turbo, Zeo, Wild Force, the episodes are going to be interior artwork, so you'll be able to see them in the clear cases. But disc 1, disc 2, disc 3, disc 4, and then 5 and 6. Had a little brain fart there. And then next we have season 1, the season that started it all. I believe the on-air pilot is on here too, right before they had to change everything. And then we'll go ahead. And this one, again, was different too, because I think this had like a red background. So they did change it up after their original releases. And I do believe there's 2 compilation sets you can get. I believe there's a Blue Ranger compilation, which has the Blue Ranger on it, and then there's a Green Ranger. Now, I would say it's okay to double dip if you want just those as well, if you're a big Power Ranger fan, especially if you just want to revisit Green with Evil miniseries that they did. Then that's the best way to go, rather than having to go through the season, find which episode and which disc. We have disc 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and as you guys can see, the discs haven't changed. Then 5 and 6. So this, 4, 5, and 6 would be volume 2, and then 1, 2, and 3, which are red, would be volume 1. And that's kind of how they ended up doing it with the releases. So not bad of a set. And that's just my personal opinion. I think this is a really great set compared to the other set. They went from, I don't even know how many cases were in that set, to just having 4. So they did package it smaller. This is flimsy. It's not in the best shape because when I bought it, it was in that, like I was talking about, like that spider web type security. so it's not in the best shape, but I think it looks nice. I do like this artwork. I do like the other artwork, but I think this looks a little bit better. And yeah, just a pretty fun, nice release that they decided to go with. And I am having coffee. So, all right, now we're going to move on to Beetlejuice. Of course, with the new Beetlejuice film coming out, what better way than to show this set? Now, as I stated, the set, I believe, is out of print. I remember seeing it on Shop Factory, on like Facebook or something. Now, this is, of course, a Shop Factory release. And again, they were doing the same thing. It was like volumes. You'd get, volume one. Like, they were doing that for a lot. And I think it was really getting to the point where it was just like, try to get the money's worth out of it. And you just, the waiting game. You get volume one, you got to wait like months down the road or maybe the following year just to get volume two. So it was very frustrating, but here's the front. I think they could have done a little bit better with the front. I like it, but I think they could have improved on it. And then here's the spine. And then there's the back. Tells you a description of the series. It's a 12-disc set with 94 episodes. So, not bad. I don't know if the original really. I think this might have been just, unlike the Power Rangers, I think they just did. You could either get them individually with the volumes, or you're able to get the box set, which would just be the standard seasons. And then here we are with the 3 cases. Give you a better look. Go ahead and take a look. Let's do it differently. Let's start from the beginning in order. So we have seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Beetlejuice. Now, volume 1 had this artwork. I do believe that was the artwork for volume 1, the spine. And then they did something a little different. On the back here, we get what discs have what episodes. I can't speak today. So you got 4 discs. Season 1 has 2 discs, and season 2 has Season 1 has 2. Season 2 has 1 disc, and then season 3 has 1 disc. We'll go ahead and open it up. And they kind of got lazy with some of the interior here. I just, it's a little ridiculous. And there you go. So that is season 1, 2, and 3. Kind of weird that they decided to just throw 3 seasons in the one case. Then we have Beetlejuice season 4, part 1. I'm so glad this finally got a release. I love this show. Now, the Blu-ray does have 3 episodes from this series, but to get the entire series, you'd have to buy the set. I don't know what the set's going for now. I think at one point I got this at Walmart for like $24 or $25. And this doesn't want to move. And yeah, 4-disc set. Not bad. So yeah, 4 discs for part 1 of season 4, which is crazy to think that season 4 had pretty much the most episodes. And then of course we have season 4 part 2, which I think is really cool with the artwork. And then again 4 discs, which is discs 5 through 8. And again, kind of lazy on the interior. So yeah, so not bad. Definitely a set worth picking up. In my personal opinion, both of these are worth it. Like I said, this is out of print. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know if it's still in print or what, but I do like these sets. I think they're great sets to have. Especially if you grew up with this type of stuff. Now, I'm hoping. So, Scream Factory has been doing one hell of a job of getting rights to a lot of classic shows. I think at one point we were getting tons of Nickelodeon shows I really thought would never see the light of day of a DVD release. Ren and Stimpy, like I want to get the re-release for Ren and Stimpy. It's the one in like the single clear case. So you got Ren and Stimpy, The Wild Thornberries, Rocco's Modern Life, Ah Real Monsters, Angry Beavers, Cat Dog, Hey Arnold, I think have all been released by Shout. Um, and then I think there's Paramount who released Rugrats, the complete series. Either Rugrats or it could be Shout. Excuse me, or both. Another company released The Secret World of Alex Max. I think that might be a Mill Creek. That's another one I'd like to get. Um, Now, unfortunately, some of the burn on demand releases are out of print. I think My Brother and Me, you can still get Doug, Shelby Woo. A lot of those are available. Are You for the Dark is not. And I don't understand why we cannot get a proper release. Like, there's got to be a company that's willing to work a deal out to give us a lot of these old Nick shows on physical media. I know there's a lot of rights issues, but come on, man. Just pay the money because you're gonna make it back. You know how many people want this? Like for me, I want the Roundhouse to be released on DVD. I would like all that. You know, maybe not the entire series of all that. I'm an OG all that fan, so I rather prefer the original cast. Um, or at least run it up until pretty much the entire original OG cast is gone and Amanda Bynes is gone. Because Amanda Bynes, you can consider an OG because I think she came around season 2 or 3. But yeah, I feel like they really, like Pete and Pete, Clarissa Explains It All. Like there's seasons out there, but it's just like one season. That's it. Pete and Pete. Now, I think there was, from what I've heard, Pete and Pete actually had the last season on DVD. Like it was already made and everything. They were in boxes in a factory, and then just got never sent out. And people, and one of the things I guess, had read that they just the titles weren't selling, so there was no reason to keep making more. That's kind of where the burn on demand programs come into play, but there's so many fans out there. I feel like if you do it properly and do it right, people are going to buy it. I know I would. I mean, I want Are You Afraid of the Dark? I want My Brother and Me. Mystery of Fowler Shelby Woo. Clarissa Explains It Um, all that. Space Cases. Um, there's so many Nick shows that I grew up with. I want the Roundhouse, pay the rights. Come on, movie studios out there. A lot of them say, "Well, it's rights issues." Yeah, because nobody wants to pay the money out of pocket. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to pay the actor the money. The best way I would look at it from this is it's gonna make money. Pay the money. You know it's gonna make money. Do it like this. Go to fans. Start doing like interviews with fans of these shows and ask them, would you be willing to, if this was released on physical media, would you purchase it? If they say yes, then you keep doing that. And then you could technically start off with taking like pre-orders and see how well your pre-orders do. And if they do well, decide if you want to put them in store or put them on the burn on demand program. I think the burn on demand program would work really well because you wouldn't have to make so much overstock. You can make it when somebody orders. That way you're not hurting yourself if you make so much and you send them to stores and they just don't sell. But there is a wide range of people who are going to be willing to buy these, who grew up in the 90s like myself, um, who want this. So they got to do something. Like Disney, too. I wish Disney and Nickelodeon were watching this. Disney needs to release a lot of I'd like to see a lot of their old shows be released on DVD. Like the Aladdin TV series, Little Mermaid. And then, I'd like to see their Disney Channel original movies be released. This is what they should do with the Disney Channel original movies. Give us two options. Okay. Give us a box set that contains specific years. So like, when did Under Wraps come out? 96, 97. So do a box set from 97 to 99. It can be over $100, but you be getting every single Disney Channel original movie that came out from that time on their own separate disc. That way, you're not getting, the quality is not too bad. Um, and a lot of them probably wouldn't be able to be on Blu-ray because some of them were filmed in full screen and stuff like that. So, and the quality I don't think would be that great. I mean, it could be cleaned up a little bit, but that's my whole point. Is and this would benefit a lot because not everybody can afford, digital. A lot of people can't afford these streaming services, so they relate to physical media. So I think it would really benefit to those who, especially collectors, like if they made a box set, hey, Disney Channel Original Movie Volume 1, 97 to 99. I'd buy it. If they made them individually, I'm fine with that too. I prefer a box set. I think a box set would make it easier for all of us money-wise because there's so many Disney Channel Original movies. I want to say like 1998 or 1999 was probably one of the biggest years for Disney Channel Original movies because I think there was like over 10, I think. But then of course, you start seeing a decline. But you don't have to really do the entire Disney Channel original movie. Don't you can re-release some of the titles you already have on DVD. You could just throw into the box sets, and then you could do 2000 to 2005, 2006 to 2009, something like that. Just give us box sets. Me personally, if they did that, I'd be buying the ones I grew up with and probably end there, which would probably be up to 2003. No, 2004, because the last Xenon film came out, and that to me felt more of a late 90s film than anything. So, yeah, but thank you guys so much for tuning in to this closer look at Beetlejuice and Power Rangers the Complete Series box sets. If you have these box sets, let me know what your thoughts are, and let me know what you guys think. Would you guys like to see, Nickelodeon and Disney, release these type of shows on, excuse me, on DVD? And if they did, you think a box set would be great? I would like to see a Snick box set. Um, which would be like, technically you could do this in some way. It's a one box set, and it includes the complete series of the lineup. You can do different volumes. So like volume 1 would be the original lineup, and then like volume 2 would be when one of the shows ended and had to be replaced with another show, and do at least like 5 volumes. I mean, that to me, it would just be pretty cool. I do want to eventually get some VHS copies, and then turn them digitally, because there are a couple Snick VHS tapes, and that's like the only way to be able to get like the Roundhouse, because the Roundhouse has never been released. The Roundhouse is like lost media. You can find some like really bad like VHS rips. So yeah, I wouldn't mind buying homebrew releases for a lot of the Nick stuff, especially on Blu-ray. Because usually if you have standard on Blu-ray, I believe it helps to some extent with the quality, compared to it being put on DVD. I can't remember exactly the details, but I heard it's pretty good. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. The link to my eBay store will be down in the description below. I will cut a deal for any of my subscribers. So I charge shipping. I will state that. Now, if somebody if you're a subscriber and you look at my eBay store and you find like a bunch of titles you want, first and foremost, I'm going to give you free shipping if you purchase more than, if you're interested in more. I cannot speak. If you're interested in more than one title, say you're interested in 5 or 10 titles, you'll get free shipping. And then I'll cut like a deal, to some extent. So like if somebody goes, hey, I found 10 movies I'm interested in. Of course, they'd automatically get free shipping. And then I probably cut them a deal, like, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll do $1 a piece, so 10 with free shipping, and then and they can message me through the eBay app, or they can email me personally. That way, when it comes to like doing the shipping through PayPal and stuff like that, it'll be easier. So if you guys are interested in my eBay, I'll put the link down in the description below. And if you're, wanting a deal, outside of eBay with stuff I have on eBay, I'm more than willing to do that. Yeah, so definitely check that out. So with that being said, I'm Film Talk with Mikey. Till next time, guys, we'll talk films. Thanks for watching.